So welcome to Shloka Day. Today's Shloka for the day is Shloka number 41. Yesterday in Shloka number 40, the Lord has begun to respond to Arjuna's 3 questions. And the Lord has said that anybody who performs even a little bit of auspicious activity does not meet with destruction, either in this world or in the spiritual world, which means there is no loss for you materially or spiritually. And then the Lord reassures Arjuna by saying, anybody who does any good is not overcome by evil. But this Kalyanakrit, what are these auspicious activities? There is a clear definition of it. Kalyanakrit simply means those who are pursuing the path of self-realization, liberation, or those who are practicing bhakti yoga. So in today's shloka, we will see how the Lord further elaborates in terms of time and in terms of practice. Shloka number 41. Prapya punyakritam lokan ushitva shashvati samah suchinam shrimatam gehe yogo bhrashto bhijayate. Prapya punyakritam lokan ushitva shashvati samah shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga bhrashto bhijayate. Prapya punyakritam lokan ushitva shashvati samah shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga bhrashto bhijayate. Please recite after me. Prapya punyakritam lokan
Prapya punyakritam lokan
ushitva shashvati samah
Ushitva shashvati samah
samah
shuchinam shrimatam gehe
Shinam Srimatam Gehe
yoga bhrashto bhijayate.
yoga bhrashto vijayate.
Prapya punyakritam lokan
Prapya Punyakritam Lokan
ushitva shashvati samah
Chidva shashvati samah
shuchinam shrimatam gehe
Shinam Srimatam Gehe
yoga bhrashto bhijayate.
Yoga Prashto Vijayate
Prapya punyakritam lokan
Prapya
Punyakritam
punyakritam
Lokan
lokan
ushitva shashvati samah
Ushitva Shashvati
shashvati
Samah
samah
shuchinam shrimatam gehe
Shinam
Shinam
Srimatam
shrimatam
Gehe
gehe
yoga bhrashto bhijayate.
Yoga Prashto
vijayate.
Vijayate
Word for word meaning and translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prapya,
Propya
after achieving.
After achieving
Punyakritam,
Punyakritam
of those who performed pious activities.
of those who perform pious activities,
Lokan,
lokan,
planets.
planets,
Ushitva,
Ushitva
after dwelling.
after
after
dwelling
dwelling,
Shashvatihi,
Shashvata
sorry, Shashvatihi,
Shashvati
many.
many,
Samah,
Sama,
years.
years,
Shuchinam,
Suchinam
of the pious.
of the pious,
Shrimatam,
Srimatam
of the prosperous.
of the prosperous,
Gehe,
Gehe
in the house.
in the house,
Yogo Brashtha,
Yogo Brashta.
one who has fallen from the path of self-realization.
Fallen from the path of self-realization.
Yoga Brashtaha, sorry.
Yoga
Abhi,
Brashta.
Abhijayate, takes his birth.
Takes his birth.
Translation. The unsuccessful yogi,
Unsuccessful yogi,
after many, many years of enjoyment
after many years of enjoyment
on the planets of the pious living entities,
planets of the pious living entities,
is born into a family of righteous people,
righteous people,
or into a family
or into a family
of rich aristocracy.
of rich aristocracy.
So the Lord here is talking about what happens if you perform some regulated activities for some amount of time. So the Lord is going to divide these unsuccessful yogis into two classes. The first class is addressed today. The second type of unsuccessful yogi we will see in the shloka tomorrow. There are two types of unsuccessful yogis. One who practices maybe a little bit of pious activities for a short period of time. So if you've performed some amount of pious activities, then what happens to you? Because you've performed some pious activities, your reward for that is to go to the heavenly planets. So these are the kind of people who may engage in mundane virtuous deeds. We are using the word mundane because they're not connected to Krishna yet. Or they may perform fruitive karma kanda activities. So anybody who performs any virtuous deeds and anyone who performs karma kanda activities, they can enter into the heavenly planets. We have two choices, yog or bhog. Yog means union with the Supreme Lord. Bhog means to enjoy material things. When do we fall from yog? We fall from yog because we are attracted to bhog. So the Lord is like an indulgent parent. Indulgent parent means sometimes the child does good things. So the Lord tries to reward you for the good deeds that you've done. So here, similarly, the Lord allows the unsuccessful yogi to experience bhog. So much so, he comes to the conclusion, he meaning the person who goes to the heavenly planets, who comes to the conclusion of its futility. And then, after he's exhausted his pious credits, he has to come back again and take birth on these material planets. Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe. So such kind of personality who's done some pious deeds will go to first enjoy themselves in the heavenly planets. After they've exhausted all their credits, the positive credits, they have to come back to the earthly realm. And what happens? The Lord says, they may be born into a family that is pious and has good character. When a family is pious and has good character, then naturally that family can nurture the child's spirituality from the childhood. So that's one benefit of performing some pious activity. But then first you have to go up and then come down again. You have to go up to exhaust your credits and come back down to give you another chance to resume your spiritual path. And therefore, the Lord makes sure that you're born into a pious family. The other option that the Lord gives in terms of birth is Srimatam, meaning you are born into a very wealthy family. Now, why would the Lord give you birth in a wealthy family? Because if you're born in a wealthy family, you personally don't have to work too hard to maintain yourself and the family because the wealth is already there. You don't need to struggle for survival. So if you don't have to struggle for survival, that means you have quite a bit of time to practice spirituality. So both these family environments, one family that is pious and has good character, the other family that is very wealthy, gives the child, that Jivatma, the opportunity to engage in spiritual pursuits if the soul is so inclined. The risk is always there that the soul may not be inclined. So you can understand the circumstances, the situation, and the family of our birth has a very important bearing upon the course of our life. From our parents, we inherit values, culture, nationality, etc., etc., etc. But this is called karma bhumi. This is the place where your destiny is shaped, which is the middle planetary systems. The other planetary systems, the upper planetary systems and the lower planetary systems, are where you go to exhaust your karma. So if you're constantly depositing punya and papa, to be rewarded for the punya, you have to exhaust your punya credits by going to the upper planetary systems. Similarly, to exhaust your papa, you have to go to the lower planetary systems, which means the only planetary system that is very conducive for you to practice spirituality and achieve self-realization and God realization is the earthly planets. So if you're going up, it's not necessarily a promotion. If you're going down, also it's not necessarily a demotion. It's just a way in which the Lord has designed this universe for you to exhaust your karmic credits on both the positive side and the negative side. What's interesting is that the residents in the heavenly places, typically we are under the misconception that they are all immortal, they are amar. There are actually 4 categories of people. One is called the Martya, which means those who reside on the middle planetary systems where the lifespan is very short. So that's called Martya. The next is called Amara. Amara, we think is immortal, but actually Amara means they have a longer lifespan in relation to the earthly planets. Then you would have heard of the term Chiranjeevi or Chiranjeeva. A Chiranjeeva lives either for one lifetime of Brahma or in some cases, one day duration of Brahma. That's the meaning of the word Chiranjeevi. Even Chiranjeevi we think is immortal. No, they also have to give up their life once Mahapralaya happens or once Pralaya happens. So Martya Loka means short lifespan in the earthly planets. Amara means little longer lifespan in the heavenly planets. Chiranjeeva means you live for either a day of Brahma or for the life of one Brahma. And the 4th category is called Nitya. Nitya is eternal. These Nitya Siddhas that you would have heard us speak about, they live eternally in the spiritual world. So going up to the upper planetary systems is not something unique or great for us. Right? So Here, in these set of shlokas, the Lord is first of all addressing the fears of exploring life's spiritual side. Krishna is saying, don't be fearful if you don't succeed, because I will take care of you. Anybody who is seeking the spiritual path will not meet an inauspicious end. The Lord acknowledges that the spiritual journey is difficult in this shloka by saying after many, many, many years of enjoying themselves in the upper planetary systems, they come back. Given how restless our mind is, we can't trust our mind to pursue the spiritual path permanently, eternally. But yet the Lord is reassuring us that He always has an eye on us. Even if we practice a little bit of spirituality, the Lord gives us the benefits of that. Right? So, so even in spiritual path, we have to be willing to take risks. Because if we don't take risks, how do we know what's on the other side? But risk-taking means we need to know how to calculatively take the right risk. Which risk to take, which choices are going to keep you alive spiritually, and also bring you alive spiritually. So that's the essence of today's shloka, which is for those who have practiced spirituality for a short period of time, the benefit is that, first of all, they have to exhaust their punya in the upper planetary systems. Then they get an opportunity in the form of birth in a religious pious family or in a wealthy family, so that they don't have to worry about material necessities. They can immediately focus on the spiritual side.